Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Episode 5 of Falcon Winter Soldier is finally here and I'm going to give you guys my spoiler review. This is the second to last episode in this series and I'm just excited to see the finale because this episode built up so much, but I'll touch on that at the end of the video. But before we get into it, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you're new around here and turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a new video or I go live. I did a live watch party earlier today of Falcon Winter Soldier episode 5 and next week I'll be doing one for the finale, so if you don't want to miss it, again, hit that subscribe button. But without wasting any more time, I do want to get right into the spoiler review. I have a list of things here that I wanted to talk about. Nothing's in chronological order or anything like that. It's just stuff that popped out to me in this episode and stuff that I really like. So the first thing was that it directly came off of last episode and John Walker's pain was so visible. You could just tell like the pain in his eyes. I don't know. It was something like the camera work was a little bit iffy in my opinion, but the message got across to me and I think that's the main thing that was important about that entire sequence in the beginning. And then we also got a dope action sequence. It was honestly one of the only action sequences that this entire episode, which is something I actually liked about this episode. This episode is actually a lot more emotional than it was action based, and I think it's the most emotional heavy movie or episode in this series so far. So that's something I actually really liked about it. I mean, this episode really set up more stuff to happen in the finale, and so I'm excited to see how the next episode bounces off of this episode itself. But moving on, John Walker gets booted as Captain America. Now we all knew this would happen. They basically say you're not Captain America anymore, you have to basically resign. They're kind of booting him from being Captain America and that whole name, the shield, they're taking everything away. And basically what happens is he just says, I'm Captain America. And that was, it's such a basic line, but it's so powerful at the same time. It's kind of cool to see how he bounced back. He's like, no, I am right, I'm Captain America. So I love this episode for that as well, just the balance in John Walker's mind. And I'm excited to see where that goes because I thought this episode would be more focused on John Walker, but this episode didn't really have much John Walker. It was kind of closing off Bucky and Sam's previous past like side plots and like all those storylines so that they could get that big final battle in the finale. And I'm excited to see the final battle. The choreography in this episode was insane from the first battle to the very ending of the episode. So I'm excited to see what direction they go in the finale with the action itself. John Walker in this episode also talks to Lamar's family. I think it's like in the last like fourth of the episode. I thought it was pretty cool the way that they kind of made him connect with Lamar's family, and Lamar's family kind of backed up John Walker, and they were like, you know, Lamar was so proud when he found out that he was going to be partnered with Captain America, like, and that he really looked up to John Walker and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of pushes John Walker a little bit more over the edge. It's like, okay, I have to do this for Lamar, like I have to do this for him. His family's telling me he believed in me, so I have to do it. It's just another thing that's on John Walker's mind when it comes to kind of, I guess, getting revenge. Next up, we got to talk about Zemo. Now I like this episode, like I said before, because it closed off a lot of storylines and it definitely closed off Zemo's storyline. I feel like it did it in a not dramatic enough way. Like they made John Walker stuff super dramatic. I feel like they should have made Zemo stuff super dramatic. They did do that in this episode, but I liked the way that they closed off his storyline as a whole. It didn't feel too rushed. I felt like we had enough time to like have dialogue between Bucky and Zemo and then all that kind of stuff. It was super cool. I liked the way they executed that entire sequence. Zemo is now going to Wakanda. The Dora Milaje, I think that's how you pronounce it. The Dora Milaje took Zemo, and hopefully Zemo shows up in Black Panther 2. That would be pretty sick to see. I mean, if he's connected and he goes from Wakanda and he's already in Wakanda, there's no point of him not being in Wakanda in Black Panther 2, so I think that'd be pretty sick to see. Most of the time in this episode was taken up by like what I'm gonna categorize as the boat stuff. But I think it did a good job, like I said before. This episode did a good job of building on these characters and kind of ending their other side plots, and the boat stuff really helped in that. Like it brought us back to the first episode, which is where we mostly saw the boat stuff, and we saw Bucky and Sarah's chemistry and their soon-to-be relationship. I don't even know anymore. But the best part of this episode, in my opinion, was Sam and Isaiah Bradley, that sit down. It was definitely the longest part of the episode, and it was long for a reason. It was emotional, gritty, it literally almost made me cry. You guys can watch the clip on the live watch party. It was just super fun. I liked what they did with that entire chunk of the episode. They had a good like mix of all these different aspects. So it was fun to watch like the variety and aspects, and literally just under like this one category of the boat scene, I guess you could say, or like the boat stuff. Under that category, there was such a variety of different things that was going on, and usually we either get like all action or all emotion. This episode did a good job of balancing all those different aspects. And then finally, towards the end of the episode, Sam gets the shield, or he actually starts using the shield. He had the shield basically the entire episode, but he starts using the shield, training with the shield. We get a nice training montage at the end, and it was super cool to see. Sam is now going to be Captain America. Like, I hope that, I mean, next episode, I think we're seeing the suit. And overall, this episode just sets up a lot, and my thoughts on the episode are pretty basic. I mean, it sets up so much for the finale. It does a good job of closing off all these other storylines that we've had throughout the show, and I'm just excited to see what the final episode has in store. The setup at the end really makes me excited for next week's episode. Like I said in my watch party, this is just the calm before the storm. I can't wait to see what next week has in store, and like I said before, I'm going to be doing a live watch party of the season finale for Falcon and Winter Soldier. So if you guys are going to be watching it at 3 a.m., make sure to check in the live stream. We can chat for a little bit. I answer questions and talk about my expectations and all that kind of stuff for the episode, as well as giving some post-show thoughts, and then I end the stream and make this review for you guys. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. Again, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.